Shotguns are based. Combat rifles are also based. So what would you get if you took a combat rifle, made it a pump action, and added a pump action shotgun underneath it? You'd end up with this. The Crossfire MK1. It takes the best part of a combat rifle and removes it all to make it an over-under hybrid with a pump action shotgun. Why would you do this? F if I know. But today we're gonna take a look at this cursed relic from the assault weapons ban to determine how bad does it suck. Fuck this thing. How does a fucking arm work out? So I just try to pump that forward, but it's so sticky up at the front and doesn't want to lock. There you go, finally got it. That if I don't go all the way forward, and then I come back, it'll just eject a live round onto the fucking ground. See, you really got to force it forward, or else you're just ejecting fucking live rounds because the gun doesn't want to go into battery because this gun doesn't want to fucking exist. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Crossfire MK1. It is a hybrid pump-action 12-gauge shotgun and pump-action 5.56 rifle taking AR-15 magazines. No, the AR-15 portion is not semi-auto, both are pump-action. This bad boy was accurately described by Ian as a creature from the assault weapons ban, and it's fucking terrible. But since it did come out in 1999-ish, what we do have is a bitchin' VHS instructional video.
Welcome. We would like to introduce to you and to take a few minutes to familiarize you to a new concept in long gun technology, the Crossfire MK1. The MK1 is the first multi-shot dual-caliber firearm ever produced. Because of its uniqueness, the MK1 operates differently than any other conventional pump-action firearm.
So the overall premise seems to be a kind of neat gimmick, right? You have an all-in-one weapon system where you have a shotgun up top and you have a rifle down on the bottom, allowing you to shoot both close range with a shotgun or reach out a little bit further with a rifle. And altogether, for being two guns jammed into one, it's really not super heavy, which is kind of cool. Although don't get me wrong, it is still pretty hefty, and you'd assume with that extra weight, it would recoil a little smoother. But let me show you how to load it real quick before I tell you why this is literally the worst gun I think I own. I don't throw this word around a lot. I think it's kind of overused, but this is genuinely a cursed gun. So the obvious one down here, we've got the AR-15 magazine. Magazine release is over here on the left side. You push that down, take your magazine out, stick it back in. The shotgun is actually this tube in the rear that acts as your stock. So you get kind of like a chin weld right there on where your magazine is. You depress this little button in the back and you can pull it straight out, which is where you load your shotgun shells into this tube here. That's already stuck. Nice. There you go. 60% of the time, it works every time. Why? This tube holds 4 rounds. Don't use them all in one place, I guess. You have our button here on the side. In the middle is safe. This is what disables the trigger. And then you can choose between shotgun at the top and rifle down on the bottom. So now you know the basics on how to work the gun. Now my favorite part, why it's a piece of shit. Now the typical pump action shotgun, like this Shorty Remington 870 that we have here, you pump it, and then when it's forward, it locks unless you depress a little lever. The Mossbergs have it in a different place, but the Remington 870 has it right here. So it's locked till you depress that lever, and then you can freely pump the shotgun as necessary, or pull the trigger, in which case it then unlocks it for one more round, allowing you to lock it in place, fire, and then be able to eject the cartridge and load a new one. So that's how this one works. Just kidding. Gun's clear, of course, there's no ammunition in it, but you can fire, and that doesn't unlock your pump, because why would it? There is no lever or obvious mechanism on here to unlock the pump manually. It's instead at the front, where you have to pull these tabs forward to be able to release the pump, and then lock it back with a lot of force, because the pump action is spring-loaded in the direction that keeps the pump out of battery. It is impossible for me to tell you how infuriating that is. So yeah, you literally have to pull on this tab from both sides, not just one. So there's two sides of this tab. You have to pull forward, and then sometimes it releases. There you go. Now it releases. Or, my favorite one, you can also just decide to shake it violently, and then it'll release. It's actually easier just to twist and shake it to get it to pump, which is why I think it releases under recoil. I guess that's a feature. If you already hate this gun, don't worry, we're just getting started. Not gonna lie, not very impressed with this gun so far. That's why I'm gonna take a little break and talk about something else. Firearm storage. As you can tell, I'm a pretty big fan of putting guns on display, but depending on your situation, you might need something a little more secure. So where you might wanna check out our new sponsor, VARA Safety. They have a variety of options for rifle, shotgun, and pistol storage. It's biometric, and it has a manual override if you're concerned about that sort of thing. Here's my Carry 43S, and they're reach safe. Biometric scanner's right there, so all I have to do is press my finger there, and it releases in 0.2 seconds. Also stores up to 10 fingerprints, so you can add yourself, your wife, a trusted friend, or if you're lonely, just every one of your 10 fingerprints, just in case. But if you want to check them out, you can save $30 on your purchase using the code HERRERA. Links are in the description and the pinned comment. We appreciate VARA Safety. Back to the video. ADD break. So this White Claw penetration test is actually going to be kind of interesting because we're going to see the difference in energy between both the rifle part and the shotgun part at close distance. All right, so let's start with rifle on the left side. I really wish I could convey just how bad this pump action is. There we go. Hopefully that works. All right, firing rifle. 3, 2, 1. Well, it seems to have done the trick. Switch over to shot. Oh, I forgot. I gotta fucking pump it first. Except, fuck me. Gotta pump it first to be able to switch it over to shotgun so that I can fucking pump it again. Unload the gun. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, all right. Blew the fucker in half. So we have our rifle round. Of course, had no issue dispatching the White Claw. And the shotgun round, well, did shotgun things. But enough about the shotgun for now. Let's go to the other half of this bastard hybrid gun. Let's go to the rifle setting. So before we even get started on the pump part of this, let's go ahead and take out our magazine, because this bad boy usually comes with 10 to 20 round magazines, which makes sense. It was the assault weapons ban. You couldn't exactly put these out with 30 round magazines. You know, the same assault weapons ban that showed no decrease in crime whatsoever, that 10-year period where assault weapons actually got banned. Didn't fucking change anything. Gun laws don't work. Wild.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Anyhow, this really needs to run with 20 round or fewer magazines, because if you try to throw standard capacity magazines or drums in this, despite the fact that they fit and it's advertised to fit with standard capacity magazines, it actually adds so much friction to the pump action. It's because it's so tight that it won't run. So they fit and you can use them, they just don't work. That's like asking if a ride at an amusement park is safe for someone with a heart condition and they say yes, and then they put in a little caveat, as long as you don't mind having a fucking heart attack. I think what's most infuriating about this is actually, and I believe this is how they did it in the early prototypes of this gun, that never ended up making it to market. You could have just run a gas tube here. I mean, you've got an AR-15 style bolt right here. Like, this is an AR-15 bolt. That is an AR-15 bolt locking into an AR-15 barrel with an AR-15 barrel nut. Like, all of the guts are right there already. You just need to run a gas tube to actually run the action, some sort of gas key there to make this semi-automatic. So it could have been completely compliant pump action, one pump, and then the rest of it is semi-automatic until you run out of ammunition, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the way the original prototypes were supposed to work. But apparently that was too difficult because these people were shitters and they couldn't figure it out, so they just said, fuck you, the entire thing is pump action because we can't figure out the bare fucking minimum. So yeah, we have an AR-15 on the bottom that can take standard capacity AR-15 mags, but don't fucking do it because it won't work. By the way, it's pump action only because we couldn't figure out how to make it semi-auto because fuck you, we don't care. By the way, the price point on this thing was $2 fucking grand when it came out. Right, it wasn't $2 grand, it was like 1,900 bucks in 1999. For reference, you could still buy AKs for like 300, 400 bucks. The Ferrari at the time of shotguns, the Spaz 12, you can buy for like 1,400, 1,500 bucks. And this piece of shit was $2 fucking grand. That's like paying good money for a high-end blue chip hooker and getting your Uncle Jerry in a banana hammock instead. Just to be clear, at that time you could buy a nice shotgun and a nice AR for less than you would spend on this, both put together in a way that doesn't really fucking work. And if you thought the shotgun was bad, just wait till you see the rifle. I was genuinely having to dump out live rounds because I was not getting enough momentum to get it all the way forward. And I would have to come back in order to get the momentum to go all the way into battery, eject the live round I just almost loaded, and then have to give it a shitload of ass just to go forward. Or, you know, I could just have a semi-auto. So if you've been thinking this whole time, Brandon, you're really exaggerating about how bad this, you know, the pump is on this pump action. It can't be that bad, you know, just put your man hands on it. No. This is a pump action shotgun. This is actually a Serbu Super Shorty modified Remington 870. This is how easy a pump action shotgun should be. That is a normal pump action shotgun. This is not normal, no matter how much the New World Order tells you it is. I will not eat the bugs. I will not live in the pod. I will not use the shitty shotgun.
This motion is not a difficult movement. It is just different than what most people are used to.
This is how easy pump shotgun should be. This is why everybody knows and loves the pump action shotgun. Easy. Been thinking about doing a video on this. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I think they're neat little shotguns, so if you'd like to see this featured in a video, let me know down in the comments. Now, I don't want this gun to exist, and as it turns out, the gun agrees with me, because it is constantly trying to kill itself all the time. For example, let's go back to that safety here. So a fun feature about the safety, it disables the trigger. But what I found out, thanks to the Cabela's, the fine folks at Cabela's who I bought this originally from, specifically the poor guy who had to maintenance it, if you pump the gun on safe, you can break it irrevocably. Just gonna run that by you one more time. If you try to pump the gun while it is on the safe position, the gun breaks itself.
Designed for maximum performance, built to last. Crossfire.
You know what happens when you flip a regular shotgun to safe and pump it? You pump the gun. A lot of people try to do this when they're trying to unload the gun, as to, you know, be able to safely eject the cartridges without being in the fire position. That made too much sense, because you cannot do it on this gun. Not only that, the entire polymer construction of this weapon actually feels like it's going to fall apart at any minute. Even the metal parts, super awkward and flimsy, but especially just this entire receiver group stock thing, the frame, I guess you would say, is just all pretty much one-piece polymer that feels like it belongs to a $15 paintball gun. If I paid $2 grand for this back in 1999, I'd be going to the fucking Better Business Bureau. This gun is genuinely bad as a first draft, but it is comically bad for a production firearm. It's like they didn't even bother getting their start in gunsmithing or weapons design before shitting this together. I mean, they could have done at SDI.edu using the links in the description, but they didn't, even do that. But you know what? Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should just maintenance the gun. I should just, you know, lubricate it and just take it apart and make sure that everything is clean, there's no burrs, and maybe it would be running better. Oh, fucking wait, I can't. You're not supposed to. I was highly advised against opening this gun up and checking out the guts, which you know I love to do, but apparently this gun just breaks itself again.
Built to last.
It actually specifies in the owner's manual that the owner of the gun is not supposed to disassemble it. You're supposed to send it back to Crossfire so one of their armorers can take a look at it, or take it to a Crossfire-approved gunsmith, which you can't do because Crossfire went out of business before Shrek came out. It's got a really cool feature where if you unscrew the bottom of the grip here, it moves and... Fuck you, man. I don't care. if you really want to make this gun absolutely impossible to use, you could take out the optional foregrip.
Crossfire does offer an accessory forward assist handle if needed.
I give up. Fuck this gun. Pretty sure I broke it. Now, Brandon, why are you giving the Crossfire such a hard time? I mean, it was the assault weapons ban, the government's cracking down on what you can and cannot manufacture. All sorts of companies had to do stupid things to make their guns compliant. You know, why are you harping on this one so much? Well, because they didn't have to go as far as they did. This gun right here is the Daewoo DR200. This was a perfectly legal gun to own and import during the assault weapons ban. It is a semi-automatic 5.56. Objectively better in every single conceivable way. Fun little history fact. This bad boy was actually the Roof Korean special. Yes, when our Oriental friends were voting from the rooftops, they were using this. And if you heard Daewoo and you thought, hey, is that the car manufacturer? Yes, it's actually the same company. They're also the same manufacturer as the USAS 12, which we just recently did a video on as well. But as you can see, no stupid gimmicks, no pump action needed. This is a semi-automatic 5.56 rifle, or 223 if you really want to accurately mean. The only thing they needed to be compliant was smaller magazines, even though it takes standard capacity magazines and extended capacity just fine. And this thumbhole stock right here. Thumbhole stocks were actually very popular during the assault weapons ban, where you had things like even AKs had the Mac 90s with the thumbhole stocks. The point being, my dear Dr. Grant, is that no matter how hard the government will crack down, life finds a way. And you can still end up with a pretty cool rifle, which a lot of times can still be converted to its original assault configuration. You don't have to do dumb shit like that. Also, I just really wanted to show off the Daewoo for you anime fans out there. You're pretty fucking weird, but I still love you. I throw you a bone every now and again. You know, I've been thinking a lot about my final thoughts on the Crossfire Mark 1. You know, is it a piece of, you know, firearm history due to the assault weapons ban and some of the crazy things that came out of it? Is it, thank you for that. Is it just an overall failure of, you know, overzealous weapons designers, probably on substances, trying to just shit something out to make a quick buck? And I think where I've landed on it is I want to say that this gun is just fucking gay. But then I thought about it a little harder, and I realized that the gay community does not deserve to be lumped in with this gun. They didn't do anything to wrong me in such a way that I would include them with this, so I'll settle for cursed. This is the most cursed production firearm I've ever shot. Whatever. That's the Crossfire Mark 1. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video more than I enjoyed filming it, because I'll be honest, bad weapon design puts me in a bad mood. But aside from how shitty this gun may or may not be, what do you think about the Crossfire Mark 1? Is it a cool concept that was very poorly executed? Are you a Crossfire defender full of copium? Or do you think it was just a bad idea from the start and there's a reason why nobody's really done it since? I know we got some cool range content coming out in the next couple weeks, including Ted Kaczynski and killing Hitler. I'm not kidding. But you have to go down and subscribe to make sure those pop up in your feed. I appreciate you guys for giving me the best job on the planet. I appreciate you. Thank you for staying all the way to the end of the video. And I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers next time. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
It's like paying good money for a high-end blue chip hooker and getting your Uncle Jerry in a banana hammock instead. I'm not sure if I can get this line out. That's like paying money for a high-end blue chip hooker and getting your Uncle Jerry in a banana hammock instead. So close. Not the bees! Not the bees!